return on investment.
Agatha Long cost way less than the Acolyte.
Echo cost way less than the.
I don't know if Echo did, but Agatha Long did. It was like they tried to experiment where they weren't spending a lot. So to them, that was a win. Where the Acolyte, the budget was so ridiculous. Even fans of the show were like, "Where did the budget go?" You know?
Yeah, because some of the shows that were supposedly cheaper, you know what I'm saying. So this is kind of Hollywood accounting. I think they're kind of pushing the budget around to other places or whatever. But like, yeah, the Acolyte looked cheap. It looked like a Star Trek show from the '90s. Yeah, and I love Star Trek, I do, but the story definitely makes up for the special effects.
Not an Acolyte.
Not in the Acolyte, yeah, and that's just it. Like, you can have two shows that get similar numbers, but the show that costs half as much might warrant getting a pickup, and the other one doesn't.
Right, and then okay, so they're like, it was number 2. Yes, number 2 for 2024. However, if you keep scrolling down, we have the Illuminate data information that we talked about before. This was the total minutes watched for 12 weeks of the Star Wars show. So in this case, when they did this post we talked about before back in July, it had been out for 5.5 weeks. Well, since then we definitely crossed the additional weeks to equal to 12 weeks, which was what, 6.5 weeks. So we crossed that. So we know the Acolyte came in 2.6 million minutes, right? So it double what it was at there, but it's still underneath what all those shows did in the same 12 weeks. That's completely since its launch. So it was considerably less than that over 12 weeks, and it still was far behind. Even at even at 7 months, it's still far behind the other shows. That's the point.
In a year of shitty Disney Plus shows, the Acolyte comes in number 2, but it's still less than half of Andor, for God's sake. So Disney's gonna look at this and be like, for the amount of money this costs and the backlash we're getting for it, there is no future for this show. So they get like quick.
So they're like, it was number 2, and I said yes, but you had to put it in context. It might have been number 2 for 2024, but their shows in 2024 other networks did not stream well. So it did not, one, do well compared to other networks, but 2, other services. But 2, it didn't do well even if you compare apples to apples with other Star Wars shows in a 12-week time frame, and you give it the benefit of the doubt, you give it 7 months. It still doesn't come. Those numbers we just showed you, that was the entire run. That was for a 12-week chunk. So even if you add what they got after 7 months and give them the benefit of the doubt, it still was nowhere near the other ones for 12 weeks.
No, and again, that's what they just want to stick it. They want to stick it to the chuds. They want something that they like to do gangbusters. I'm like, look, if you put it out there, market on the sides, right? You put out some show that maybe the old fans don't like it, but it does gangbusters numbers. I remember when Star Trek: The Next Generation first came out. A lot of original series Star Trek fans did not like Next Gen when it first came out. They said it's too futuristic, it's too far removed. We don't like the new cast. Why is there an old man as the captain? And we want, Shatner and all that. And I remember it being divisive, somewhat. Even though as a kid, there was a lot of talk about it. Especially like my uncle, he was really into Star Trek. And he was like, yeah.
So did my dad.
Yeah, he's like, I'm not into this. And we see this every time there's a reboot or reimagining or whatever. But at the end of the day, if the viewership is good, it doesn't matter what the fans think. And in this case, every time they tried to reinvent the wheel, not only do you push away the old fans, but like nobody else gives a crap either.
Right, and they're trying to be like Rachel or like cheering on, like, it's not there, it got canceled because it was number 2. Suck it, chuds. It's like, suck it, moron. Number 2 in context, it means number 2, but not number 2 you want. I mean, it did not do well. If you compare it to other shows, apples to apples, the same amount of time, give it extra weeks, it still did not come in anywhere near the other ones. That is the problem. And even back up, even the Illuminate said, 2024 saw diminishing returns for some of the biggest properties on Disney Plus. They mentioned Marvel with Agatha and Echo, but Star Wars definitely compared.
Oh yeah, it's just, every series is just less and less viewership, and Skeleton Crew was like the bottom of the barrel.
Yeah, they didn't even hit the list. I don't even know what the numbers are now. It didn't even make the list.
And yeah, it dropped off at Nielsen within the first week or 2, I think. Like, nobody's watching it. It's just, look, and this goes along with the Ray video we did the other day. Star Wars at this point is, I believe, irreparably damaged. I think it's a franchise that belongs to Gen X. There was no passing the torch. Like, our kids were into Clone Wars, Lego Star Wars, stuff like that, but they don't give a crap about Star Wars. They don't care. Younger kids than that, they don't care. You don't have a bunch of. I mean, I'm not saying my daughter's 7. She loves Star Wars. Good.
That's cool.
That's good.
I hope so.
That's good. But I'm just saying, there aren't enough of them. It's not the cultural phenomenon. I mean, Star Wars was the Pokemon of our time.
Yeah.
And it means nothing now.
No. And it's just the way they're clinging to this. And I love it. You know, she's so predictable. Rachel Eichman. She's just somehow, all the any three chuds are the ones who really tank the show. But they keep running with this, it's number 2, even though all the people hated it. It's number 2 because people didn't watch it. And it's number 2 for 2024, which is like a number 20 for any other year. It's not a win. It's not the way you keep saying it is. Yeah, see, here's even though the series received backlash it received hate from the right-wing YouTubers who claim they enjoy Star Wars, they don't. Kindly fuck the hell off, Rachel. Sorry. No, I'm not even sorry. Go ahead, what? Yeah, fuck no. Hey, they named a character after me, bitch. Please do go on how I don't like Star Wars because I didn't like your shitty show. The difference between you and me is, hey, if you like Backlight, you're fine to like it. I have no problem with that as long as you're not harassing me if I don't. I think you like what you like. Go ahead. But the problem is you're not allowed to not like it. And I honestly think one of the reasons Disney didn't renew it, beyond the numbers, were the insufferable twats like Rachel and company who kept going on and on and like making hit piece after hit piece and angering the fan base and alienating the fan base even more. So even if Disney doesn't chase off the fans with their shitty stuff, the media like Rachel were going to do it for them. And then you throw in the actors behaving in the same way.
Yeah,
so people like it, they're kind of like, no.
And we've talked about this before. We'll talk about it again because she says on here, valid criticism of the series was lost to a mass attack from these right-wing quote-unquote fans who saw a show led by people of color. The Rick Queer woman as an opportunity to destroy. It's like, no, it didn't make any damn sense. It wasn't very good.
See, valid criticism, and you saw these articles, they say valid criticism's okay, but none of the criticisms they heard were valid. So basically, valid criticism's okay as long as you agree with everything I think. And that's not the same thing. But I don't think Rachel would, if she thought too hard, her head might explode. I just don't understand. Some people are allowed to not like it. People might have valid criticism, but it doesn't mean they're less valid. And honestly, a lot of people didn't like the show, and it wasn't because queer lady wrote show, or because,
that needs to be a soundbite.
Or because because that lady, nobody cared. And the diversity, diversity, guess what?
Yeah.
I was gonna say, I watch K-dramas all the time, and one of the lead characters was a teacher. If I hate diversity so much, how come my favorite shows, aren't white shows? Yes, I hate diversity. But these insufferable cows go up there and act like they're all that in a bag of chips and blame their shortcomings on everybody else being raped, misogynistic, when in fact the show just frankly sucks.
None of the people were interested. Even if, I'll give you this, even if the show was the best thing ever, at the end of the day, if it does not bring in the eyeballs, whatever their metrics are, it doesn't get green light. That's just like anything else, like with publishing. Like, we look at stuff too. We publish, we're kind of like, do we do a follow-up, not do a follow-up, because it depends on whether or not the last one did okay. And how much we're going to have to spend to publish this next thing.
And this show was already ridiculously expensive, beyond what the other shows have cost. What the heck?
The commenters, and these are probably, I'm assuming, not right-wing chuds that are commenting on Mary Sue because they censor everything, right? But the commenters are smarter than the writers.
Well, it doesn't take much to be smarter than Rachel Eichman.
Gort here says good viewership doesn't matter when your production budget dictates you have great viewership. Disney is a corporation. They only give a shit about hate campaigns if it affects their income. Maybe the reason more people didn't watch is because of that campaign. Maybe not. The bottom line is that the show's viewership didn't justify the budget, so they axed it. Why is this so damn hard to understand?
I want to know how people like Rachel go on about the vocal minority of toxic, your right-wing, you don't like your right-wing person, though people might have liked it on the left, too. Right-wing chud, somehow the vocal minority yet somehow managed to tank the entire show. It's because middle, the middle audience, people in the middle who are the ones you don't hear from, were a silent majority, and they didn't watch it.
So their own commenters are calling them out. Percy Jackson cost $96 million and maintained strong viewership across all 8 episodes. The Acolyte cost between $180 million and $230 million, paying a sourcing insult and something like 2/3 of its audience from it lost something like 2/3 of the audience from the premiere finale because it wasn't very good. You know, it wasn't very good. People were looking Disney, they're looking at Star Wars, they're like, series after series, we're seeing declining returns, right?
Alan Bergman said that they weren't going to renew it because it wasn't worth the return on investment wasn't there. This is the guy, number 2 in charge. He's more of the movie side, but he said flat out in an interview, we're not renewing it because it's too expensive and the viewership wasn't there. Is basically what he said.
Right. So here we have another Rachel Weichman article from a couple months ago. The Acolyte proves that maybe people should listen to women. And like,
Rachel, listen to me. Listen to this
Kathleen
woman.
Kennedy. Listen to Kathleen Kennedy.
No, people should listen to women. You're right. I am tits. Listen to me.
Disney is. I listen to you, tits. Disney is happy to let the toxic dupros win, I guess. Look at all the.
There you go. She's going on and on about it.
About it.
She's just ass mad. Good. Stay that way.
I don't know. It's like, I mean, they're gonna claim this as a win. They actually makes you look incredibly stupid because anybody can pull up numbers, and they're saying that the
looks
numbers.
Stupid every time she opens her mouth.
Well, I know, but I'm just saying, like, your own comment section, Rachel, is calling you out. They're like, the show was expensive. It did not perform to the level they wanted. So he factors in other things too. Like, say it. Can I say it? Toy sales. They look at toy sales. They're like, none of these Disney Plus Star Wars shows are selling any toys. They got lucky with Grogu, and they had basically Grogu carrying Star Wars for like 2 years.
I do still think that their behavior of the lead actress and the media and stuff like that, and the lead actor too, around the show, I think was a lot to do with it too, because they're just like, this is gonna be more trouble than it's worth.
Yeah,
because
that's exactly.
People are already out there alienating fans, are already doing damage because they're salty, and they're already out there causing more damage than a little bit, including people that are part of the show. It's just not worth continuing it because there's too much bad blood now.
Sometimes the studios will actually use the numbers, the financials, or whatever as an excuse to get rid of shows and people that they think are going to be more trouble. You've got Amanda out there twerking at the chuds and doing diss tracks and crap. They're like, oh my god, yeah, let's not even. So that definitely did not help. And I mean, just at the end of the day, it's not personal, it's just business, and that's what a lot of these people in Hollywood per year do not understand. Is that the market in many ways decided, the audience decided that you don't get to make more of the thing you like. And we used to understand that. Like, there were shows that were incredibly popular or had a cult following back in the day that still got canceled. And, we do writing campaigns or whatever, but you didn't see the stars of those shows out there, like, attacking the fans or blaming the fans or whatever. I mean, I don't remember the Firefly fans that pissed off about.
They probably.
I mean, they got canceled, but I mean, I don't know what, because that was probably a writing.
Yeah, but the cast wasn't out there calling them names, I don't know.
No, I mean, they would make jokes. They make jokes about it. What was it? Castle. Space Cowboy out there or something. They made some joke about getting canceled before. I had a chance to. I thought it was kind of funny, but I mean, there are shows out there people love that get canceled all the time, and they're just having a bunch of shit. I just people understand. It's like, I'm sorry, you're fan. What they're hoping for, and what did not happen, they're hoping for is that their quote unquote their stuff would take off. It would supplant the original fandom. They would be victorious. They would win. They would have Star Wars. They would have Marvel. They would have Dungeons and Dragons. They would have all these. They would have the video game industry, whatever. And all that happened was, you chased off the majority of the customer base. So there's nothing for you either. There's no money to bankroll your fan fiction.
And if you were a true fan, as you kind of, you were a true fan, then anything they shit out, you should love, right? Because if they continued it and it wasn't the stuff that you wanted for you, and it was just more like what the majority wanted, clear majority, obviously by the interaction and engagement for the show, people like Rachel would be screaming that it wasn't Star Wars they wanted, and it's like, but the difference is you guys are the small vocal minority, and it's provable by numbers. And the thing is, would we be allowed to say, well, wish you were real Star Wars? You know what I'm saying? It's like,
yeah, right.
It's stupid. It's
ship,
it's over. It's gone.
It's over. You congratulations.
That ship has sailed.
Congratulations. You killed Star Wars. People like you, the people working at Lucasfilm that are like you, that agree with you, you killed Star Wars, and now nobody gets to have it. Maybe that was the intention. Maybe that was the intention all along. It's like, if I can't have it, nobody gets to have it, so we're just gonna fucking kill it. And maybe that was the Machiavellian scheme behind it. I don't know, but all these franchises are basically dead because people like Rachel are in charge at the corporate level and making really dumb decisions and alienating long-time fans.
Well, they used to be, but I think it was changing. Unfortunately,
it's too late. It's too late. It's too late for Star Wars. I honestly to God think we need to just throw it on the funeral pyre and go
light it on fire.
Yep, we can say hi to the Force Ghost every once in a while, but light it on fire. All right, so we're gonna wrap this up. Please subscribe for more pop culture news, music, and rants, guys. We'll talk later.
Bye.
Hey guys, welcome back to Clownfish TV. This is Neon. I'm here with Sparkles.
Hello.
And we're going to talk about art on Twitter. Insane. Absolutely insane. We have a couple examples here. A recent example is that some artists who, out of the kindness of their heart, decided to do sketches for people, and the people are very demanding when it comes to their free sketches, and they're actually bullying them in the DMs. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about the AI art witch hunts, which a lot of other people, I guess, covered this a week or two ago, but people are literally getting bullied off of Twitter for posting their art that people are trying to say is AI art.
But sometimes it's not.
Sometimes it's not. A lot of times it's not. They don't even know what the hell they're looking for or looking at. And, it is absolutely insane. So I'm like, are we going to get to a place where you have to show yourself drawing every damn thing before you put it online? And I'll tell you what I think the actual root of it is. I think the root of it is crabs in the bucket, and people are trying to knock out potential competitors. That's what I think it's all about.
I don't know. I just think it's stupid because, you know what? Here's the thing. I'm not as big on AI as you are, but I also realize it's not going anywhere. And I don't see why, if people use it as a tool to speed up art, they can't use it if they want to. They want to say you have to buy it. They want to say you have to like it. But if they want to use it, they're not replacing anyone. They're just assisting themselves. Who cares?
Yeah, that's it. Before we get into that, I do sometimes the doofy AI thumbnails or whatever for disposable YouTube videos. My ideal use of AI is to help the artist make better art faster, but they still have complete control over it, and they're not lifting off of anybody else.
No, that's a no.
Speeding up your inking, speeding up your things like that. I don't have a problem
Platting for you or something like that.
Platting for you. I don't have a problem with that. I think that is actually a very good use of AI, helping you make changes faster. I'm not talking about, just ham-fistedly put some prompts in and it generates, a waifu or something, and then you're going to throw it on a t-shirt.
And then you're going to say, yeah, my art. I mean, that's why Disney got in trouble, because one of the things they had in the Haunted Mansion was a red bubble piece of art that was AI generated.
Yes.
And it was a bride, and now the Jim Irvine, who actually was Leota to daughter, said they were just going as a placeholder, but I was like, you're Imagineering, you guys couldn't come up with something that you just got caught.
You're Disney. You expect you're Disney to be creative. Hey, come on. So let's talk about this. Things are changing, but we've been covering art Twitter for a while because things are getting really stupid over there when it comes to like skin tones and proper representation. They will literally get the damn eyedropper out and tell you you're not drawing things correctly, and
Oh, but it's okay if they dark wash things. That's fine.
oh, absolutely. And I'm going to tell you, 99.9% of these people will never work professionally. They will never work professionally. They don't have, I mean, I'm not just talking skill-wise. I'm talking attitude-wise. They do not have what it takes to work professionally because they're so preoccupied with what everybody else is doing and not paying enough attention to their own selves that just shows an attitude. For me, it just shows an attitude. You're not really serious about this, or you would find better things to do than go on a witch hunt and try to track down people who are potentially using AI art, or oh my god, the character's skin tone is not
Yeah,
dark.
so unless they were like competing with you for something beat you, why does it matter?
Because these people think, I'm convinced of this. These people think if they knock out other artists, that somehow they're gonna get the call someday, get the job, and it's like it does not work.
Oh, so like my soap opera analogy is like, yeah, this woman who's convinced that if she kills the person's love interest, that they'll love them instead. Like that doesn't mean they'll like you just because the wife's gone. You know, it's like the same mentality.
Yeah, and I think it extends to the YouTube space too. I think that you know, they think if they tank YouTubers or whatever, that people are going to watch their channels instead. And I've seen this because 99% of the time, like, it's not just us, but people that are hypercritical of other YouTubers or Twitch streamers or whatever, 99.9% of the time, if you look, they have their own channel and they're not doing well. And that's what it's usually about. So let's talk about this. Before we get today, please subscribe for more pop culture news, views, and rants, guys. Get a woohoo if you do.
Oh.
Go out to clownfishminds.com, check out our merch, support the Reef if possible. Check out the Reef here on YouTube and locals as well. So we'll start with this one. This is actually what kicked it off because I saw it this morning and responded to it, but this is I offer free art because I genuinely wanted to give back to the community.
Which is fine.
But now I'm being threatened with a blacklist simply because I couldn't instantly complete their requests. Please don't do this to other artists, and I hope people believe me. I'm scared.
Don't be scared of them. They're just being a big dumbass bully. You know, your first mistake was you let them talk to you like that at all, and that you did. They can't do jack. I doubt this person can do jack crap. I doubt it.
This is ridiculous. It's probably teenagers or younger attacking it. Well, you know what? I would have said that a couple of years ago, and I've seen some grown-ass adults acting like children, so it's a special.
I see more grown-ass adults acting like children than I see children acting like children.
That's true. Hey, I see you're drawing all these other people, and I entered a long time ago. Are you even going to draw me, or are you just engagement farming like me? So for real, people can't even grow authentically these days. Like, have some dignity if you want to be a real artist.
Have some dignity. Okay, you didn't draw me for free, but if you want to be a real artist, you would have dignity and draw people for free. Pay them then. Then you go top of the list.
We've got some anecdotes here because I'm going to tell you right now, this is not your Pipperoo, if that's how you pronounce it. This is not your audience. You are better off finding a handful of people that will pay you for your art than giving the store away. So they said, hey there, I just want to say that I'm going to draw everyone, but it takes time. I can only manage about 12 a day.
12 a day. 12.
I'm doing my best. I know you submitted a request a while ago, and I deeply apologize. It seems like I'm ignoring you. I understand this is free art. I'm putting in as much equal effort as I can. It really hurts my feelings, et cetera, et cetera.
Well, that's part of your problem right there. You let your feelings be equated, but I get it because I do it all the time too. I tend to be empathic anyway. It's a whole long story, but anyway, I let my feelings get hurt a lot too. But you need to learn to separate them because
I have heart. I have heart.
It's true. I was a lot more sunshine and kittens before. But yeah, it's just like you got to watch out for yourself, and you're giving away for free, and you can't be letting people hurt your feelings because they don't care. They just want their free shit.
Yeah, no, I love this response here. Cry harder. No one forced you to do this. If you can't handle the pressure, maybe don't offer free art in the first place. Stop pity.
Why not just not ask for free art then?
Yeah, right. No one cares how hard you're working, either deliver or don't, but quit acting like that over something you chose to do, dumbass. And I'm a blacklist you because artists like you taint the VTuber and art community. Good luck, girls.
Who is this person that's going to blacklist?
they won't. They're
Do you know how many times we've been blacklisted from shit? A bunch. No matter nothing.
nothing. It's done absolutely nothing. Actually, if anything, it's helped us more. It hurts. I want to be part of the community. Too late. I already told my friends. We're making sure everyone knows to avoid you. If you can't handle responsibility, this community doesn't need another clout chase pretending to be generous. Enjoy the blacklist.
Okay. So translation. This person offered you free art for people to be nice. This other person signed up for wanting free art. I'm sure a lot of people wanted it because this person was dumb and offered free art. No offense, but that was really stupid. And then they're all lining up, and then because their free art wasn't fast enough, they're threatening to blacklist them for ruining the community. This is how they try to control. They try to tell you how you're a terrible person. You don't do what they want. Who's the community? Who decides? What friend? I doubt very highly this person has friends.
Yeah, if you're that demanding, yeah, this is another presumably young artist that is being shamed and taken advantage of. This happened where they care too much what other people think. And let me tell you, these people don't give a shit about you. They will throw you to the wolves. This is why the cancel culture, I believe, was so rampant on Twitter for so long before Elon Musk, because people wanted to do the right thing, and other people will take advantage of you wanting to do the right thing.
They were trying, like, the person was very polite, explained the situation, said, oh, I didn't forget, I'm still getting to you, I haven't got there yet. But instead of being like, okay, for a free piece of art, why don't I get paid for this or anything? And then they're getting mad, so they're like, free piece of art. And then they're like, you didn't give me the answer I want, so I'm going to cancel you. It's like, no, they can't. They fucking can't. I don't know who they are, but I guarantee they can't do jack shit. And given all the support from people, they're not going to do shit. And honestly, I think they should have said who this person was.
Yeah.
Because, that would have been, a lot more interesting, because I think it's going to turn this person's big nothing.
Yeah, that's it. A lot of times, most of the time, this is all about controlling. We're going to blacklist you. We're going to say mean things about you. We're going to go to forums and make it seem like there's a whole bunch of us. There's only like 2 of us. Because they're crazy ass jealous or bored or mentally ill, and they're looking for a way to take you down. Because God forbid you have something that they probably can't control it at all.
Probably not. We used to do caricatures at events, and I remember these girls came over, and they're like trying to get you to draw free stuff for them. Yeah. Will you draw this character? Can you draw that character? Yeah. Will you draw it for
my rates? Look at the signs, sweetheart. There's my rates. Like, you will grow a thick skin if you do this long enough. This is coming from a guy who's 40. So, we used to do webcomics. We were actually more successful than most people doing webcomics. And I noticed this attitude shift. When we first started, people were grateful that you were literally just giving them free comics to read. And they were grateful, and they were fantastic. And I still remember the names of some of our biggest supporters, and I thought it was great. And then the attitude started to change when the Tumblrites came in. And the Tumblrites were totally different. The Tumblrites would come into the comments section, which I eventually disabled, because I'm like, no, hell, you're not paying for it. You don't get to say shit about what we're doing. But they would come in and start nitpicking everything. Oh, how come there are too many white people in this? And I don't know. Why is it black and white? Because sometimes, I didn't have time because I had a day job.
We tried to do black and white so you could get the pages faster in black and white, and then they complained because their free wasn't in color. I remember when one person went through every page of the comic and found something to complain about every page. Literally, we're talking 100 pages, and they found something to complain about every page, down to like complaining about the type of about how American chocolate sucks. I mean, they're not wrong. Hershey's is really sucky compared to other brands, but
I think free buys of all. But yeah, it was insane. And the people got more demanding, and were like, hey, having some personal health issues, not going to be in the comics this week. Well, I'm just going to go read somebody else's free comic book. I'm like, well, you go ahead and do that. If we had to go through it, we had to like, hey, fine, if you want the comic to continue, we're going to have to start charging on Patreon or something, because I don't know how else to make this go. Like, my client has to be paid for it. Well, there's so many people asking for handouts on Patreon. I like their comics better. I mean, I like
they told me that. They said, I didn't know they were doing Patreon, but I wasn't sure if it was on there, so I went back there instead. And I was like, well, that's good stuff. You can. I'm just like, no, to be fair, we were the ones that took off and put up for free. So,
it got us. That's the thing. It's a double-edged sword because it got us attention. But I'll tell you the truth, it did not translate. And lot of people bought books because we had the comic out there for free. So if they get ours for free, they're going to go buy somebody else's book because, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And it was really disheartening. It was like, wow, this is not, like, it was great. We had the ad revenue and stuff like that when the rates were good. But it was a very weird situation where it was like, yeah, once you open up the soup kitchen, that's
Yeah.
what it's going to be.
I mean, the reason people started that free model was, like you said, the ad rates things, because the ad rates would definitely cover your expenses. However, I'm not going to say who did it, but certain people would then turn around and click on their own ads.
And also,
Okay, but
they admitted to it. It was in a documentary.
They clicked their own ads and kept doing it, taking money, and because of that, they ended up being leery of webcomics for giving you ad money. We ended up putting a blog on our webcomic, which we were doing that before other people were, because at least with the blog, they considered it more, acceptable content.
Yeah, webcomics were monetized with Google AdSense for a while, and then Google, if you had strictly comics on your website, they wouldn't even let you run the Google ads on your site. Or the rates would be abysmal because you have a text on your site to be able to, pull from potential ads or whatever, and you didn't show up in search very much. So it was a very weird situation. But yeah, we're very familiar with that. And people were angry. They were, how dare you take our free stuff away? I'm like, bitch, you don't pay for anything. Then they try to kill you, and they try to, it was insane. I'm like, you know what, at this point, and we had it for a week. I mean, we're getting like 1 million views a month, on our site. And I'm like, we're better off selling, a couple hundred or 1,000 comics, selling a couple hundred or 1,000 comic books than we are giving it away.
People don't remember, like, if you had your own site at the time, which we did, you had to pay for hosting.
Yep.
So, and those were expensive because they were images, so they were all, like, visual. And it was very, 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 very expensive to pay for that. We got audited because we had to write off the expense of the website, because we were paying advertised. And we ended up having to be audited for that because they couldn't understand why we were spending so much money on this website and the advertising. And we had this, so we weren't we were making very good, and it wasn't worth it. And you get to the place where it's like, you don't owe people anything. Like, I would love for people to look like my art and enjoy it and be happy. And a lot of people would like that. But the reality is, the reason they come to you is because you're giving it to them for free, but that's not enough to be patient because it's free. They want it now, and you better, service them first. That sounds wrong, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, but that's true. This is, like, we're going to go back to that, because back in the day when the internet was young, there were message boards and stuff like that, but a lot of people had to pay to join boards because people had to pay to host the site. And then, the banner ads came up, or they would find sponsors, direct sponsors, or whatever. But
Patreon came out of webcomics.
Patreon, they admitted to me when I talked to them when they first started that they lifted the model for webcomics, because webcomicers to make ends meet were selling, content they weren't putting on the website, whatever, via PayPal back then, and doing like newsletters and stuff like that. So they basically just lifted that model, and it works. But the thing is, if your brand is like give away free shit, and then you start charging for stuff, then people get more pissy.
Oh, they'll pay for it if it's porn.
Yeah, if it's porn, they'll pay. That was basically it. There were sites that never, and I was shocked. There were some like very PG rated webcomics that survived. They started porn on Patreon. And I was like, and you could tell they weren't really comfortable with it, but they were like, this is what I gotta do to keep doing my comic, because I don't want to go back to working a day job, and I guess this is what I gotta do. And that was really sad. But yeah, that whole scene was basically that people didn't give a shit. And it definitely, you got. I'm not saying like you charge through the nose for stuff when you first start out, but you just realize if you're giving free stuff away, those people, a lot of times, the freeloaders are going to be more critical than the people that pay a lot of money.
And they're more demanding. And the thing is, by setting it as free, you're like, I know why. I totally get it. Yeah, if you were in the same position, we get it. But what it turns out to do is it just, I won't say devalues you, but it basically, they're just thinking that, so you're not worth it as much as somebody who you have to pay for. They want it because it's free. But if you want them to help support you, they're not gonna. Those people are the next free thing.
Yeah, and that's
They're leeches.
Yeah, no,
Sometimes, not everyone. Like
Not
actually,
everyone.
we had some really great fans that were just legitimate fans. And when we were at Webtoon, especially, there was a really good community there, and a lot of those people were like, "Oh, that's fine. You can take longer. It's okay. I just like the story. And I really want more, but I could wait for it because rather it be good than crap." And you had a lot of people that were really, really nice. I want to make it very clear. There was a lot of great, appreciative people in there, but unfortunately, the shitty people, ruined it forever.
That's 100% true. So now the next drama we're going to talk about is, speaking of shitty people ruining for everyone, is now we have the art police. So for the longest time they were policing skin tones, and now they're policing art, and they're trying to catch people using AI art. And there's some art like this. I don't even understand this. Obviously, I don't think this was AI at all. But they're going around and they're policing people, and they're actually getting into fights on Twitter about this because some people are like, what's the big deal if somebody was using AI or AI assist or whatever? How do we? They're like, no, we have no tolerance at all. I'm like, golly, I sure hope you're not using Photoshop for any of your art. It's just so bizarre. But this person,
some probably don't even draw.
a lot of them probably don't. That's what I'm saying. A lot of these people, they don't draw or they don't draw well. Some of our biggest critics, I've looked into them, and some of them would like to draw. Some of them would like to have a YouTube channel. Some of them would like to have people pay them for their stuff. But frankly, they ain't got it. So they spend all day going around trying to get people that they don't think deserve to have it, right? And it's like that's really sad because all that time that you're spending being focused on other people's shit, what they're doing, you can be improving yourself, building your own audience. But no, you're so petty and jealous, you have to spend all your time prowling around for somebody to get to make yourself feel better. It's very, very weird. But there's a lot of that. It's the crabs in the bucket. Creatives especially, like, I don't know what the mindset is. I think everybody wants to be special. And the truth, I had somebody tell me this, and it was a brutal wake-up call, but it's 100% accurate. This is actually a DC Comics editor. And he said, you know what? You might be the best artist in your class. You might be the best artist your school has ever churned out. But if you come from a small town, you're competing with people from New York. You're competing with people at global level. And frankly, just because your mom says your art's good, she puts it up on her fridge, doesn't mean your art actually is good. When it comes
confirm that didn't happen. That your mom would put your art in your fridge.
Oh no, she always thought it was dumb.
What you do.
She always thought it was dumb that I did art. But no, and he wasn't like knocking me. He said you've got potential, but basically like knock it off. You're not special. You
never acted like you were, did you?
No, I didn't. I mean,
I can't see you doing that.
He was just kind of going through Mississippi. A lot of kids in here think they're like the best thing ever. Like, I went to whatever art school, blah 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 blah. He's like, cool. I can just take one look at your pages and be like, yeah, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong, that's wrong. And it's not to be mean, but some people do need to have a little perspective. Like at the end of the day, there are a lot of people that draw well. There are some people that are just completely in another league entirely. But those people, for the most part, are pretty humble about it, given the amount of skill they have. I've seen some people that are just phenomenally talented, and they don't have an ego about it because they got there because they practiced their asses off. And they worked things the right way, and they probably didn't spend all their time prowling the internet looking for people to get.
Yeah, which is what happened here. I mean, this is like a case in point. This person apparently accused this artist of using AI, which they apparently didn't.
Yeah.
And then they bullied them off the internet. Then it turned out it wasn't AI anyway.
Yeah. So they actually got. Yeah, I read it. This is helpful. They actually got a community note on it. And this person's like, I'm so sorry I took it down, but I'm like, damage is done. And it's not just this particular instance, right? But this is it. Yeah, everybody's like, oh, I have to show you my process now. Just make sure you don't think I'm cheating. But the thing is that AI can do that now too.
Even if you use Photoshop and stuff like that too, like, are you shifting something up and down? Are you using tools to help you with the different things? Well, if you are, but you're cheating, I mean, it's the same thing. That was what people thought back when the digital stuff started. That was how they look at AI now. That's how they look at Photoshop then.
Yes, and I remember that. And I think a lot of these people are younger. They don't remember, but I remember when people started using digital tablets to ink and whatever, and that was real art. you're not a real artist because you're using a tablet. And Photoshop and CGI work and all of that's not real because you didn't actually draw it. It's a model, it's render, so therefore it invalidates it. And eventually, AI is going to be a tool, an artist's tool. So I'm not talking about creating and scraping art.
No,
I'm talking about using an AI assistant to help you make your art. It is your art. Make it better, faster. Just like any other.
Flatting, it saves how much time.
Oh god, yeah. So yeah, this has been going on for a while. Here's another one, another example of it. I've seen this one going around. This is AI art. This person said they were banned from posting on a Sailor Moon Reddit versus Reddit because my 3D art reeks of AI. I even have all the proof videos of hundreds of hours put the manual work of sculpting those statues, the architecture, and I can't even write to the mods to clarify that. Can I even fix it? I'd just be like, fuck you. That's me. Update, the person who did that has been banned on Blue Sky after I tagged them and asked some comments. Richard has banned you. Well, I did all I could. You can't, look, if somebody's already got their backup and they think the next thing will be like, you're probably a Nazi too. And you use AI art. But this is ridiculous. Yeah, I got permanent ban. That's what you get for asking them to show the Unreal Engine scene and video proofs that my work is not AI. I never heard the person who banned me as getting threatened, saying threats is never okay. God, this is insane. My thing is like, why do you care what Reddit or Twitter thinks?
Because they're afraid to find your audience. They're afraid to not get that. They're afraid of that. That they get mad that won't be there. They won't like that.
This isn't your audience, Eugenia. Is that your name, Eugenia? This is your audience. Your audience are the normies that probably don't even set foot on these websites. You're not going to get, that's the other thing too, if you learn in webcomics, like you're not going to get famous basically peddling your art to other people who are effectively your competitors. And that was it. Like most of the people who read webcomics, by the end of it, not the beginning, but by the end of it, it's just webcomics creators commenting on each other's work.
Right, it was very incestuous.
It was very incestuous, and then there were all kinds of cliques and drama and shit. Like, these people are young, I can tell they're young, but like this is not the real world. If you want to be a commercial artist, then you need to sell your art to whoever's buying, and those people do not live on Reddit, they do not live on Twitter. The mods made a public apology, well, that's cool. So I made the no AI art rule, it replaced the former rule. The AI art just had to be labeled as such voluntarily. I made this change since it seemed to be a community consensus, and the huge positive reply to the rule change cemented it. Part of the reason the old rule was the way it was because kind of writing
I don't know, who cares?
Who fucking cares? You're on a power trip, you're a Reddit mod, who gives a shit, right? I mean, this is what I'm talking about. Like, you people, the problem is these people are terrible people. They're looking for reasons to cancel their peers. The other problem is you care too much about what they think. And the first rule, beyond being able to draw well to being a commercial artist, is the only people you have to care about what they think are your actual paying customers.
Yeah, I mean, just at this point, I'd be back to the original person. I'd just be blocking the line because they're not gonna they can't cancel you. They can't, what are you gonna say? What are you gonna say? Well, cancel an artist because they give you free fast food. The next thing is that don't give out free art.
Yeah, don't give out free art. Yeah, that's actually pretty easy. So. There we go, guys. Our Twitter is silly. Of course they are, but yeah, just don't care. Don't care. Gonna wrap it up. Please subscribe. We'll talk later.
Bye. Set up to get X
Huh? Huh? Hmm.
Oh my god. much, dude. Too fucking much, dude.